up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah. Say hello to somebody around you. Here we go. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. All right.
All right, can you just feel the energy in this room? Oh, you are in for a treat at 9 o'clock in the morning. You couldn't be at a better place than right here today. So let's say our opening mission statement together, please. We are a dynamic, open, and positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our mission is to awaken you to your divine nature, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. We are changing lives one heart at a time. Yes, we are. So let's see what's going on this week.
I'm going on. Here we go. Good morning, everybody. On Monday, tomorrow morning, is our last day for you to jump into our 10-week class. It's called Beyond Limits. Yes, let's hear it for Beyond Limits. Yes. Actually, we had 140 people in class over the two classes.
Plus that is awesome.
Plus like 30 or 40 people online. So it's really a popular class. If you're going to, I'll read this again. I read it last week, and this fly got people to come to class. All right? So if this sounds like you need to be in my class tomorrow. So ready. There is a small fly burning out the last of its short life's energies in a futile attempt to fly through the glass of the window pane. The whining wings tell the poignant story of the fly's strategy. Try harder. But it's not working. The frenzied effort offers no hope for survival. Ironically, the struggle is part of the trap. It's impossible for the fly to try hard enough to succeed at breaking through the glass. Nevertheless, the little insect has staked its life on reaching its goal through the raw effort and determination. The fly is doomed. It will die there on the windowsill. Across the room, 10 steps away, the door is open. 10 seconds of flying time, and this small creature could reach the outside world it seeks. With only a fraction of the effort now being wasted, it could be free of its self-imposed trap. The breakthrough possibility is there. It would be so easy. Why doesn't the fly take another approach? Try something dramatically different. How did it get so locked in the idea that this particular route and determined effort offers the most promise for success? What logic is there in continuing until death to seek a breakthrough with more of the same? No doubt this approach makes sense to the fly. Regrettably, it's an idea that will kill. Trying harder isn't necessarily the solution to achieving more. It may not offer any real promise for giving you what you want out of life. Sometimes it's a fact. It's a big part of the problem. If you stake your hopes on breakthrough, on trying harder than ever, you may kill your chances for success. So some of us have felt like flies hitting the wall over and over and over and over again. This is your opportunity for you to join me and find out how to get that 10 seconds across the floor to go out that door and find a new life. So join me 9 o'clock in the morning. There's no tuition. I'm doing it for a love offering only. So 9 o'clock in the morning, and again at 6 o'clock at night. We're also live streaming it. You can change back and forth classes. So all excuses for not coming don't exist. The only thing is, 10 weeks from now, your life will be different. I guarantee it. So again, let's see you tomorrow morning, all right?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
You
Thank you,
going.
Dr. Joe. And then Dale, did you want to say a couple words? Go ahead.
Thank you. This is the last week you can join my class as well. It's called Building a Healing Consciousness. And Ernest Holmes taught us that consciousness manifests. And so we want to create a consciousness where we are experiencing wholeness in every single area of our lives, not just physical, but emotional, mental, financial, love, relationships, and creativity. So this is an accredited class. If you want to be a practitioner, this is fulfilling one of the requirements. So if you're interested in making your consciousness a place where healing comes easily and naturally, then just come join us Tuesday morning, 10 to 12, or 10 to 1. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale. And what else? I just talked to Terry Maple. He said all he needs are volunteers for Friday. So there's a few openings for Friday. So please speak with him out there. Right, Terry? How many do you have spots, do you think? A dozen people for Friday. So see Terry. Well, he's got all the times out there. There's different times. So check with Terry out there. Okay, I think that's it? That's it? All right, I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Joe.
So several years ago, I was in the North Hollywood Church with James Mellon, Dr. James Mellon. I was doing a talk there, and this young man came up to me at the end of my talk, and he said, "You don't know me, but I know you because I've been following you online." And I didn't know who this young gentleman was. Come to find out, his name is Levi Christ. He won the Tony for $1 Million Quartet on Broadway. He is a phenomenal performer. He is extremely spiritual. This man has gone through all of the classes, practitioner classes. In fact, I think he's a licensed practitioner in the science of mind. He has continued his career successfully, and we became fast friends. And he's joined us a couple times, but he is back today. And I tell you what, you are in for the greatest music program today. So everybody, let's welcome Levi Christ.
Good morning. Good to be here. What key do we have? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, Lord, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yes, there's a little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. You've got to let it shine. Let it shine. Walk us in, fellas. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let shine. Oh, Lord, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine every single day. Yeah, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, every city, every single where I go, yeah, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, every single place that I go, you know I'm gonna shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, every single place I go, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, yes, let it shine. Oh, listen to me now. Say, now don't let this world blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. You better let it shine, Lord. Now don't you let this old world blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Don't let this world blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Come on, sing with us, here we go. Well, this little light of mine, with this little, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna put your hands together. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yes, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. shine, let it shine. All you gotta do is just let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Say it out loud to it, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, you got to let that light inside you shine, shine, shine. Let it shine. Oh, Lord. Oh.
All right, Levi. Woo. Let's hear it for this choir. Great job. The band, everybody did it. Welcome back to the stage, my husband Trey, who's singing in the choir today. Welcome back, Trey. Yeah, all right. Woo. Woo. Now we got to go to work. I know, and you know what? Levi, on his CD, does the I Surrender song, so I actually have to sing a song that's on his CD. Do you know how intimidating that is? Ugh. That's why my stomach's kind of not doing real well right now. Okay, but let's take a deep breath in. Close your eyes. One more time, deep breath in. I was thinking about this morning as I was getting ready, and I have a shower that's enclosed in glass, and Trey was talking to me, but I couldn't hear him because it's surrounded in glass. And he said to me, "Why don't you just open the door?" I thought, many times in life, we are sitting in an enclosed space in our minds. We don't have the capacity to think about, all we're thinking about is how we're going to solve something, when all we need to do is kind of open a door. We have to surrender control of whatever the situation is and just know that if I open the door, and I know, beyond knowing, that something wonderful is going to happen in my life, that it will make its way to me as I work my way toward it. And so if there's something in your life that you need to surrender that control over, and allow yourselves to move into a quiet space of reflection, let this be that time. Take a deep breath in. All to Spirit I surrender. All to Thee I freely give. I will always love and trust You, and in Your presence daily live. All to Spirit I surrender. All that's good is wholly mine. In Your presence, in this oneness, through You I am power divine, and I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit, I surrender all.
And as we surrender to this beautiful moment, we feel that presence, that infinite intelligence, that all-powerful thing itself, that which we call God as the source and substance of all life, and that it is continually creating in ways that are positive and constructive. For it is a power of good in the universe, and it is continually providing what is necessary for all its creation. And as that one life source, that life is our life. And its nature as goodness is ours to experience, to have, and to enjoy. For it is always giving of itself. And in this knowing, we can be confident that our good is always at hand. And so we set our intention, we have a vision in mind as we speak our word into that law as God's activity. And we watch it come forth into form. And knowing that it is God's action and not ours, we trust in its intelligence to bring us exactly what we need at the right and perfect time and in the right and perfect way. And so in this moment, right now, let us envision what we intend. Let us see ourselves as that perfect health and well-being. Let us see ourselves as prosperous and successful. And as we look around, let us see all the loving relationships that we have created in our life and feel that peace of mind and that unity, in that oneness with everything and everyone around us. And knowing and feeling that God always responds. As we release these words gratefully into that law, we watch our good come forth. For we know that it always does, it always will, for that is how it works. And so in that gratitude, as I release the words of this prayer, I know this truth for you as I know this truth for me. And if you claim this truth for yourself, join me in affirming them now as we say, and so it is. Amen.
I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all, and I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all.
Take a deep breath in. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your love will light my way. Show me the way. Sing after me, please. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your joy will light my way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your peace will light my way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your truth will light my way. And your love will light my way. And your joy will light my way. And your peace will light my way. And your truth will light my way. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om. One more time through. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om.
A season, everything has a time. Show me a reason and I'll soon show you a rhyme. Cats fit on the windowsill, children fit in the snow. So why do I feel I don't fit in anywhere I go? Rivers belong where they can ramble, eagles belong where they can fly. I've gotta be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner. I'm the sky. Every man has his daydream, every man has his goal. People like the way trees have sticking to the soul. Thunderclouds have their lightning, nightingales have their song. Can't you see I want my life to be something more than long? Rivers belong where they can ramble, eagles belong where they can fly. Where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner under the sky. Oh, so many men seem destined to settle for something small, but I won't rest until I know I'll have it all. So don't ask me where I'm going, just listen, and when I'm gone and far away, you'll hear me singing softly to the dawn. To the dawn. Eagles belong where they can fly. I gotta be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner. Of the sky.
Wasn't that great? Oh my God. I know I get paid to cry now. I know. When I was a kid, I didn't get paid to cry. Now I get paid to cry. All right. Okay. So last week, our talk was about just the science of mind in general. This is in the month of January, we go through the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind textbook. And today we're going to talk about how to work science of mind. But I want to review something from last week. Remember that affirmation, my game, my life? Say that again. My game, my life. It felt really good to say that. Did you use that throughout the week? My game, my life. I'm making my decisions, and this is my decision to make, and I am walking through it for the very highest and best good of my life. The science of mind is an operating system for all the human condition. But like all operating manuals, it doesn't serve us very well if it sits on the shelf and we don't open it and study it. So it's one thing to learn about this stuff. It's one thing to have a nice little book on the shelf. Actually, I've gone to some of your homes and you have all these nice little metaphysical books on your nightstand with not a binder broken, right? They just sit there like, oh yeah, I had that healed my life thing. It's sitting right there. It's just reminding me that I can do that. So no, not gonna work. We gotta actually work it. So today we're gonna talk about using the science of mind. Dr. Ernest Holmes, our founder, said, our movement will not depend on a talk like I'm giving you right now. Our evolution and what it will mean to the world will not depend on the books that we write. It will depend on what we do with it. It will depend on what we do with it. So it depends on how we decide to apply our faith every single day as to how this universe is going to unfold. And sometimes you can take a look at the universe and go, wait a minute, this isn't really necessarily unfolding the way I thought it was going to unfold. Anybody? Anybody look at your life and go, didn't really see that coming. Anybody? 6 of you. Seriously, that's it? Only 6 of us need therapy. I will meet you after the service. We'll do our own little healing study. Okay. It's not going to depend on the talks that we do or the books that we write. It's going to be how we apply it each and every day of our life. It's not going to be about what you learn here on a Sunday. It's going to be about how you go outside this door and how you apply it to your everyday life, how you walk the talk. And I'm challenged by that too, because I look at the world around us and I think, man, it is really hard to walk in faith sometimes when some crazy stuff is going on. It's really hard to define how is my role in this supposed to be when there's some crazy things going on in the global world around us. But I have to know that it starts with me and how I center myself first. Because how I center myself first is how I'm going to interact with you and how I'm going to interact with everyone around me. So if I'm not doing my inside job first, how is it ever going to trickle out? And so if we're a spiritual community going out into the world and just living this stuff, you don't have to talk it up, you just have to live it, then we will begin, through osmosis, begin to transfer this knowledge, this evolution to other people. We will begin to change the vibration and frequency that people are living on. Entire problem of limitation, evil, suffering, and uncertainty is not God ordained. We are not meant to be suffering. There's no such thing as evil. All these things that we read about, and they are just different uses of the same law. There is one law for all things. There's one, remember my example, that there is a giant, what do we call that? Power line that goes through the center right here, right? And it's all one power. Everything is one power. It's how we decide to use it. We can decide to use it for good, or we can decide to use it for not so good. I want to welcome somebody here that's a special man in my life, and he's not going to like this, but I'm going to do it anyway. A man that has used his power for good and getting a voice out into the universe for those people who don't have a strong voice or who didn't have a strong voice for the longest time. How many of you have seen the movie Sordid Lives or Sordid Wedding? Oh, yeah? All right. Well, the very creator, the producer-creator is right here. Del Shores is right there, sitting right there. And let's say, welcome, Del, to our center. Del was extremely afraid to walk in today that the whole building would collapse around him. And I told him, please, if it didn't collapse around me, or some of you I could point to, it's not going to collapse around anybody. But here is a man who's used his voice for good in the universe. That could take some of the things that happen in our lives and we could get really bitter about them and really negative about them, or we could transform them into something positive, transform them into a message of love and hope and just willingness on other people to make changes. So it depends on how you decide to use this power. It's not our God ordained for us to suffer. We're not meant to be suffering. We're meant to live happy, harmonious lives. Happy, harmonious. Say that. Happy, harmonious. Now, how many of you can look at your life and go, Annie, not you. Anyone else but Annie, can you look at your life and go, I am living a happy, harmonious life at all times? Anybody? Good. So then we all need therapy. So we're good. We're all in a good place together. But that is the ultimate goal, is for us to be happy and harmonious, to live well-balanced lives. And like in Ruth Ann's prayer, to say have financial security and abundance, and to have right, loving relationships, to walk in that power at all times, to move as much as we can in that direction. The truth shall set us free as long as provided we know the truth. What is the truth? The truth can set you free. I remember hearing that when I was a kid going, but I don't know what that means. Because when the minister or the priest would tell me what the truth was, couldn't even identify with that. I'm like, maybe that's his truth, but it doesn't feel like my truth. My truth had a little individual spin to it. So when I would hear things from a minister or someone else, and some wise person, spiritually or religiously, I would have to go through the process of kind of reinterpreting it in my mind. Because the truth was that you, me, we're all children of that same divine presence, but you're a unique experience of that divine presence. And no two people are going to think the same. No two people are going to react the same. No two people are going to have the same knowledge base or the same reaction to life's plans as they unfold. So one of the things that I had to learn was the truth will set you free. provided that you know the truth. And the truth is this, that we are demonstrations, we are the action, the eyes, the ears, the activity of spirit. You can call it spirit, you can call it God, you can call it Allah, you can call it Buddha, you can call it whatever you want to call it, right? It doesn't matter, but we are the expression of that one power that created all things. And therefore, that individualization is really important for us because no two people are meant to be the same. Have you noticed? Who would want a clone of me? Right? Nope, not my mother. The mind, or my husband, the mind which we discover within us is the mind that governs everything. Keep in mind that as you evolve, as you begin how to use the science of mind is beginning to take this process and understand that the way we, and it's the small m there, my mind, right, is driven by a bigger mind, the power, God, whatever you want to call that. That governs everything. You don't have to think about breathing. You don't have to think about your heart beating. You don't have to think about your body assimilating all the things that you consume. You don't have to think about anything like that because our small mind is driven by the larger mind. And so remember that next time you say, I don't have a clue about what I'm going to do with my life. What message are you sending to the universe when you say, I don't have a clue? What message? And do you think you're going to get a clue when you say, I don't have a clue? No. Why? Because the universe is going to respond to you. Its mind is responding to your mind. So if your mind is clueless, the universe is going to go, you shall have clueless and you shall have it abundantly. You shall have clueless, pressed down, and flowing over. But when you affirm, I don't know what to do, but I know something within me does, how about that? I don't know what to do, but I know that something within me does. What is that doing? That's opening up the universe to call you and to ask some sort of activity, to give you that spark of an idea. I don't know, but something within me does. Say that, please. I don't know, but something within me does. I don't know what to say, but something within me knows what to say. I don't know what to do, but something within me knows what to do. All times, that's the truth. I may not have a clue in the moment, but something within me does. And if I'm quiet enough, if I go to that space long enough, and be open and receptive to it, and get Joe's control freak tendencies out of the way, I'll call them tendencies, then things begin to flow. I get into the flow of things. There is one life back of everything that lives. That's what I just talked about. So how it works. Life is a living lab. We are in a living laboratory right now. You are always experimenting with this power. You may not have known that, but your entire life has been a journey of experimenting with how to use this power. Your life is a direct reflection of your ability to understand and your ability to use and how you've used it up till now. Would anyone like a redo? Only 6? Wow, okay, well, you're good. Then everybody's good. And there are parts of my life that I want to redo. I would like to do a do-over. Anybody want a do-over? Yeah, a do-over. That's what I was talking about. Not a redo, but a do-over. There are parts of my life that I want to do over again. But I have to realize that we're living in a lab, which means I just have to learn how to experiment differently with it. I have to learn that what I did in the past didn't bring about the result. If you were a scientist and you did something here, and you did process number 1, and you did process number 2, and it yielded this thing, and you didn't like the thing, why would you go back and repeat process number 1 and process number 2, thinking that you would get something different on the outcome? Anybody? Marriage number 1, marriage number 2. Anybody? Job number 1, job number 2. Anybody? Okay. But if we're going to do this, we have to approach it with a different level of creativity. That's what I'm talking about. How do we use it is that we don't continue to use it the same way we've been using it. It shouts at us from every angle, but it can only become power to us only when we recognize it as power. You know when I talk about that divine urge within, there's this spiritual pushing, the spiritual nudge to push a little bit harder. Some of us are really good at getting that spiritual nudge and just telling it to shut up. Because we like our comfort zone. We like not changing. I mean, really, sometimes it's just comfortable just to be in that space, but our minds won't allow that to happen. Why? Because it is the divine nature for it to expand itself by means of us. It's its divine nature for you to live a bigger life, a more prosperous life, a happier life, a healthier life that's filled with loving relationships, life filled with enlightenment so you can walk through some of the crazy stuff that goes on in the world and walk through it knowing that you are going to be okay and that we're all going to be okay. It requires us to have that divine nudge, that little push to expand just a little bit. But it requires you to not only hear the nudge, it requires you to be open and receptive and receive it and allow yourself to become part of the movement. Does that make sense? Becoming part of the movement. The time must come when we shall have left the apparent evil behind, when it shall be rolled up like the scroll and numbered with things which once thought to be. Dr. Holmes says that in our textbook. There will come a time when we look at the crazy stuff that goes on in the world and wrap it up in a scroll and say, whew, thank God we made it through that. Anybody? Can I hear an amen? Amen. I want to have that. I want to have that experience where we wrap up some of this stuff in a scroll and put it under a rock and say, okay, what's next? Right? There's going to come a time, everything comes to pass. Remember that. Nothing's permanent. Everything comes to pass. So while we look at situations and we can be really upset with the current situation in our life or in the world around us, we have to recognize that it is continuously in a flow. When Ruth Ann said in her prayer, and she said something that stuck out in my mind, that all things are happening for good. And sometimes that's a hard idea to grasp when we don't intuitively feel that way, when the appearance of something outside is looking like, how could this be for good? Because it doesn't feel that way. And yet, if we look at things on a spiritual level, all things, even the ups and the downs, everything always leads us to a greater trajectory, to a higher level of life experience and evolution. We may not know the process. The process may be a little painful, but we have to know that all things are leading us to a higher and better good. All things in your life right now are leading you to a higher and better good. If you just could accept the fact that you are on a pathway and all things along this path, obstructions, good times, bad times, all the ones that are just kind of mediocre, it's all part and process of you walking into that place. If you could accept that, maybe we wouldn't label it so much and try to always think about them and, oh my God, how am I going to fix this? How am I going to fix this? What if I just said, you know what? Something within me knows what to do. Just keep moving, Joe. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. Does that make sense? So, it's not a question of its willingness nor its ability. It's entirely a question of our own receptivity. I don't think there's a God up there going, okay, it's Bill's turn. Okay, it's Annie's turn. Okay, nope, skipping Laura today. Right? I don't think, I know, you're like, again, right? It's not a question. You're like, damn, I got skipped over last time. It's not a question of its willingness or ability. It's a question, is your mind open to this? It's not a question of whether the universe wants us to succeed and be happy. I can't imagine something creating us in its image and likeness and having it suffer or feel lack, limitation, or scarcity. It just doesn't make sense to me. Because it has to make sense to me. If I say, God is happiness, I am happiness. God is joy, I am joy. God is health, I am health. God is loving relationships, I am loving relationships. God is sick, God is scared. No, we leave that up to other churches. Somebody has to pick that up somewhere, and we kind of let you drop that off before you come in. We kind of leave the almighty punishing God for other churches to believe in. But what we believe in is that there is a power for good in the universe and you've been using it. And you can continue to use it however you want to use it, but I try to teach myself, I try to teach everyone in my life how to use it so that it feels better. Can we make it perfect in one swoop? I probably doubt that, but can I make it little incremental changes in my life to bring about just a little bit more happiness? We don't believe in the punishing God. We don't believe in that idea. I do believe in sin, and that sin is just missing the mark. It's an archery term. I believe that I've missed the mark all the time. Hell, I think I sinned yesterday twice, but that's okay. It was fun, and I'll do it again. So next time you can join me. So it's not a question of its ability or its willingness. Don't ever think that you can do something that will trigger God's or Spirit's willingness to finally kick in to do what you've been asking it to do. Don't ever think that there's a list of things you have to check off in order to be in that presence, to be in that divine intelligence, and to be in that storehouse of good and ideas. Don't ever think that there's a secret handshake or a knock or a lock or something that's withholding its good from you. The only thing that's ever withholding my good is me and my unwillingness to see something bigger and to take whatever actions necessary to bring it into form. Does that make sense? All right. Not understanding this law excuses no one from its effects. Not understanding that this is how it works doesn't excuse you from how it works. If it did, all of us would use those excuses to justify and rationalize how we got where we got, which means that's what we've been doing. Anybody? Did you get that? A couple people got that. A lot of people use our excuses at playing ignorance with the law. You can't play ignorant with the law. It won't work. It will only work because you have to know that it's always working. It's impersonal. This approach should be direct and it should be specific. When we pray, what do we say? This is what I know. And what do we claim? We claim our good. Do we wish? Do we hope? Do we bargain?
No, we claim.
We claim it. We don't wish. We don't hope. We know. So when is the last time you talked about your life in terms of this is what I know? Not this is what I wish, this is what I hope, this is what I'm dreaming of. No, this is what I know my life is going to be. Reframe what you say and how you look at it. This is what I know. Say that. This is what I know, and then fill in the blank. This week, when you start thinking about the things that you want to happen in your life, don't think about the things that are happening that you don't like. Say, this is what I know, and then claim your good. Claim the healed condition around it. Don't sit there and go through the whole mental process of looking at it and analyzing it. No, this is what I know. Let it remove the fear from you. Let it remove the storyline. Let it remove the labeling, and let it move all the excuses and justifications you've given it to exist up to this day. Because I tell you what, we all do it. We all do it. I'm this way because this is the way I was raised. Anybody? Well, this is what I've always been told. It reminds me of that story in training where I was talking about that how we label different cultures. That a woman gave birth. She was an Irish woman. She gave birth to a little redhead little child, and people are immediately like, "Oh, he's going to have a temper." Little red-headed Irish boys always have tempers, right? So when he grew up, what did the mother keep saying? Watch it. You know you were born with the temper. So when the kid went off and went ballistic, what did they say? See, we told you. You're exactly like we told you you'd be. Hello, we programmed him. You and I were programmed this when we were this young. People said stuff to us that we've still embodied today. Things that we look at our self-image and we look at the way we are or the way we're not, right? And we think poorly about ourselves. But boy, I tell you what, if we could see that our own uniqueness is our biggest gift, then we will realize that that is the gift. Bette Midler said that. If I knew that my crazy stuff was going to be, what it is, I would have accepted my craziness a long time ago. Think about it. If it was meant to be a gift, just give it, right? Do it out loud. We must become accustomed to ourselves to the concept of the impersonalness of the law, the availability of the law, and the mechanical accuracy of the law. This is where when we start getting into the word law. For those people who are here for you haven't been here too long, when we use the word law, we're talking about how the universe works. The thought becomes the thing. The seed becomes the plant. What we're talking about is the word becoming, the thing in the middle. The thing in the middle, it doesn't know how to reject. The soil does not know how to reject the seed. It just knows how to take the seed and then will manifest whatever seed that is. It doesn't know how to reject it. So there's a mechanical accuracy of the law that we work with. So whatever we're putting in, you can guarantee it's going to come out. So if all thoughts become things, listen to me, if all thoughts become things, then what are you thinking about? Because they will become your things. So if your emphasis is on the things that aren't working on your life, they will continue to manifest not working. Are you following me? Because you're not planting the seed of it working, you're planting the seed of it remaining in that condition. You're just planting more seeds of the same stuff. Are you following? Are you with me? Yeah. Someone nod their head affirmatively. All right, that or I'll have to get those little zapper things on the chairs and pop you up. Okay. If we can conceive only a little good, that's as much as we can experience. When people say to me, I can't even imagine what it would be like to feel pain-free, then you're right, you never will. Because you've only allowed yourself to conceive so much. I can't imagine what it would be like to be in a loving relationship. Well, if you can't imagine it, then don't. Because you won't. Because what's the seed that you're planting? The seed is, I don't even know what that would feel like, so you have a plant that comes out that says, and you won't feel that way. Are you following me? So how it works is that it works by working through us, as us, and it's always us. And it's always working by the things that we say, not the things that you'd say when you're on your knees praying or however you choose to pray. It's not those special times that's when you're heard by the universe. It's the things that you think and say to yourself every single day. That is your prayer. That's what Paul says, pray without ceasing. That's what that means. It means we're constantly in a prayer mode. So if you're constantly in a prayer mode, would you want all the things you're talking about to continue to manifest? I wouldn't. And I'm a minister, I think. That is high as a mark we shall make, that is high as we shall make our mark in mind and spirit, so high shall be an outward manifestation in our material world. All these are quotes from the second chapter of the Science of Mind. How are you going to make your mark? Where are you putting your mark? Some people set the bar low so they can stumble over it and look like a success. Right? Some people set the bar really low so that they can stumble over it and go, ta-da, I did it. Right? How are you setting your bar for your relationships? What bar do you set for your loving relationships, intimate relationships, friendships, coworker relationships? How do you set the bar? How do you participate in those? What is the bar that you have for your health? Where is the bar that you've set for your health? Where have you set that, and are you setting it low so you can stumble over it and go to eat Krispy Kreme donuts, which incidentally is opening up in Palm Desert very soon, which I'm really upset about? I probably think I'm the only patient of my cardiologist. My cardiologist actually sent me an email when he saw it announced in Palm Desert. He's like, don't even think about it. He forwarded me the article. I'm like, ooh, that hot now sign. But how have you set your bar for your relationship or your health, right? How have you set the bar for your financial security? If you're struggling, I can tell you probably haven't set the bar high enough or affirmed your own prosperity or taken the time to take the textbooks out and learn how to manifest prosperity. You're just thinking it's going to come through osmosis. That's like thinking, I'm going to become a brain surgeon by not going to school. Why? Because I want it. No. You have to do what's ever necessary to learn the things that we don't know. And sometimes we don't know how to do this. And so we have to seek out people who know how to do this and learn from them and then apply the techniques. That's why the books, if they stay on the shelf, if your knowledge stays on the shelf, it's not going to work. It's only going to work when you actually apply this stuff, right? And so high as you set the mark in your relationships, in your health, in your creativity, in what you do every morning when you get out of bed, beyond the toast and coffee, what do you do? How do you set the bar for your creativity? Do you default yourself? Do you design your life or do you fall in by default? Are you living a life of design or default? That's a question you have to ask yourself, because if you're living your life by design, then you're going to know you're going to see things happening. If you're living by default, everything is a surprise. Ooh, I got invited to do something, or ooh, oh my God, how am I going to pay for that dental bill? I mean, everything is a surprise. Design or default? That's how the universe works. Are you designing this, setting the bar, or are you living by default? Get a bigger bowl. In Living the Science of Mind, it says, we should increase our receptivity and have greater faith. If we wish to experience a larger degree of livingness, our bowl of acceptance must be held up so that the outpouring of spirit may be measured into our individual experience. Get a bigger bowl, everybody. Remember how we had a burning bowl of all the stuff we didn't want? Now, at the beginning of the year, now I want to make sure, are you getting a bigger bowl? Are you holding up the bigger bowl and a greater acceptance and a greater embodiment of the idea that I'm supposed to have this, it's my spiritual genetic birthright to live a life of happiness and health and harmony? Is that my bowl? Is that my bowl? And if so, do you want a little thimble full or do you want a big old bowl full of that? I want a big old bowl full of that. Last slide, here we go. We will find a better God when we arrive at a higher standard for man. We will arrive at a better God, call it whatever you want. I don't care, better power, spirit, Lord, Jesus, Allah, I don't care what you call it, right? The label is unimportant. We will arrive at a better understanding of what that presence is when we have a higher standard for ourselves. Tomorrow's Martin Luther King Day. Right? We're celebrating the Martin Luther King weekend. And this is a man who talked about accepting everyone for who they are, what they are, and that they all belong. There's a song called Stained Glass Window that Levi's going to sing in a minute. And that really embodies this idea that we all belong in this beautiful window, that every color and every shape is supposed to be here. We're meant to be here working together. Your color doesn't outdo my color. We're all meant to be part of this beautiful design called the stained glass window. It doesn't matter the color of your skin or where you were raised or who you sleep with. None of that is relevant at all. The most relevant thing is that each one of you is an individualized expression on the stained glass window, and love is the light that's just shining through it. And the question is, are you willing to let it shine, or have you put a blinder or a shade in front of it and said, no, not me? As high of a mark as you will set for yourself, that will be the light that's going to shine through you. Take it away, guys.
There's a rage way down inside me, a fire that's branded my soul, and it leaves me as one of the many with a hate so hard to control. But I've seen that hate is not the answer, 'cause there's a time when we all must decide to step on up with wisdom and power and say, children, let's give up the fight. So consider this for a moment or two. I'm crimson red, and you are ocean blue. We're just two of many colors in a stained glass window. And love is the light shining through. Oh, now you can find 1,000 explanations to demote my position with God. Oh, but I discovered a divine resolution. Oh, Lord, I'm embraced by the light of its love. Yes, consider this for a moment or two. I'm crimson red, and you are ocean blue. We're just two of many colors in a stained glass window, and love is the light shining through. Oh, our love is the light shining through.
So everybody, let's close our eyes for just a moment. Take a deep breath in. And let's know that our love is the light that's shining through our own individual uniqueness. That each and every person here and each and every person within the sound of my voice and all over the world, they belong. We open the service by saying we respect and honor all faith traditions, and we respect and honor all cultures. We respect and honor all of humanity. For within that humanity is the divine presence expressing itself by means of you and by means of me. And so we accept this as our good. We accept this as our truth, because we know that when we live from that place of love and kindness, of joy and happiness, of acceptance and non-judgmentalism, when we allow ourselves to live in that perfect presence, we are truly expressing our divine nature, the nature that we were meant to experience, meant to express, and meant to live in our lives. And so we see that divine presence now. We see that light shining through each and every one of us, and we let our light shine. We let our light shine, and I don't care what color it is, or what shape it is, or what size it is, we just let it shine. And we move out of this service today in greater peace and understanding that this is the way all things should be. And this is the way we will be. And this is the way that you and I, we are right here and right now. For this experience today, we're so very grateful. We let it be so. And together we say, and so it is.
Help him out, choir.
Shine, shine, shine your light.
Oh, shine,
Shine, shine your
a little louder so they can hear. Come on. Shine, shine, shine your light. Shine, shine. Consider this for a moment or two. I'm crimson red, and you are ocean blue, with just two of many colors in a stained glass window. And love is the light shining through. Love is the light shining through you and you and you and you. You gotta know that love is the light that's shining through you. Love is a light that's always shining through you. And you and you and you and you. It's shining through. Love is a light shining through you.
Thank you, Really Like Christ and the choir. Hey, that's one way for me to get standing ovation. I'll take that. And so ends your lesson, everybody. Reverend Laura, take it over.
I told you. Where else could you have a message like that this morning, right? We are overflowing right now. So as I call forth our ushers, I want to remind you too that we're live streaming. Aren't you happy you tuned in today? Anyway, please hit that donate button and make your offering. And so, as I always say, this is also a very sacred part of this service. This is when we give back. This is when we recognize how truly blessed we are to have this center to come to every week. So let us say together our offertory prayer, please. I give my offering with gratitude as I recognize the demonstration of Spirit's generosity in all areas of my life.
With a grateful heart, I behold your goodness. With a grateful heart, I receive my good. Let us celebrate what the Lord hath made. My abundance starts with a grateful heart. Everybody sing hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. A grateful heart. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. A grateful heart. With a faithful heart, I declare my blessing. With a faithful heart, I'm forever blessed. If I just believe, then I shall receive. My abundance starts with a faithful heart. Let me tell you now. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Oh, a faithful heart. Everybody sing hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. A faithful heart. With the giving heart, I'm a demonstration. With the giving heart, I am living proof. All that I provide will be multiplied. My abundance starts with the giving heart. Sing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Oh, everybody sing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. A giving heart. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. A grateful heart. Let me hear it. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. A grateful heart. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. A grateful. Oh, everybody sing hallelujah. Yeah, Lord, a grateful heart. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. A grateful heart. Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. Wow. Thank you, Levi. Woo. The gift that just keeps on giving. Wow. All right. So let's hold up our hands. Let's bless our offering. And as we're doing this, I want us to know that we are so blessed that we had an anonymous donor today that underwrote all of this music program today. So let us feel that gratitude. So let's say this together, please. This collective offering is spirit in action. As it circulates into the universe, it touches and blesses many lives, including my own. Very blessed we are. All right, so I'd love to welcome our visitors. Boy, did you pick a good week to be here for the first time. So it's always fabulous, though. So please stand up. Don't be bashful. We'd love to welcome you. Anybody? Yes, welcome, welcome. Thank you. Wow, this is awesome. Thank you. Over here. And so what we're giving you is a CD holder with information about our center. But please stop by the table in the foyer there and pick up a CD of a couple of Dr. Joe's talks. What this talk, what this song, what this music is who we are. And if you want to have more of it, come back. If you're visiting, enjoy yourself and watch us on live stream. This is our prayer team that is over in the Om room. If you're going through anything, please go over there and have them pray with you. Miracles happen here every day. And don't forget our classes. I want to tell my Busting Loose from the Money Game. The books are in. Also, Dr. Joe's books are also in. And so we have something going on here every day of the week. So you have an opportunity to grow. I am so pleased to see that so many of you took classes this week. That means you are committed to making this a better world and a better life for yourself. So let's just do a closing prayer. Boy. And knowing that that light is shining through each and every one of us, we take that stand. We know that we visualize how we want the world to be, and that is how we show up in the world. We show up as that individual that sees everyone as beautiful, as that light, as part of that beautiful stained glass window, and that each one of us is so important, and that we are stronger because of our diversity. That is what makes us so magnificent. That is what gives us that power to do good, to see good, to be that light into the world. And so I know that each of us goes forth this week shining our light into the world, showing our magnificence, showing our love and our compassion, showing up as how we want the world to be. So I'm so grateful for this center, for the music, for all that we have, for everyone that is here. I just let it be, and together we say, and so it is. And don't forget, Levi has CDs out there. Take a little Levi home with you this week. So have a wonderful week, everyone.